Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review on my absolute favorite curriculum I have ever come across in my homeschool, and that is Writing and Rhetoric. This is level 1. You guys, this curriculum is so amazing. It teaches writing, grammar, vocabulary, and it does it all interconnected in a way that is very seamless. And I can tell you that I have seen the results of this curriculum in all subjects, including the way that she's talking to people. I see it in writing in other subjects. I see it in her vocabulary. I see it in her grammar. I see the way that she's forming sentences is different. She is really reaping the benefits of this curriculum, and I'm so happy that I found it. Okay, so in this curriculum, this is a student notebook, and then you have the teacher guide. Now, this teacher guide has everything that's in the student notebook. The only thing that it has in addition is it has gray boxes that helps you teach it. So you'll have your teacher guide, your child will have their student notebook, but you'll have additional information. Now, this is an open and go curriculum. However, I would consider it teacher intensive. I would not just give your child the curriculum and have them do it. You could, but I don't feel like they would be getting everything they could out of this curriculum. It's a fun curriculum to teach, and it's something that I feel like they benefit with the information in the gray boxes in the teacher guide. The additional guidance and help really helps shape the whole picture in the child's mind. So Writing and Rhetoric is made by Classical Academic Press. There is 12 books going through 9th grade. Book 1, which is the book that we did, Fable. This was recommended for grades 3 to 4, and book 12 would be grades 8 to 9. I would consider these grades loosely because, for example, my daughter is in 5th grade, but I use level 1, which is 3rd to 4th grade, and it fit her perfectly. I would say that she's a younger 5th grader. Her birthday was 6 weeks from the cutoff. Now, each book is a semester long, and they have about 10 to 14 lessons each. Now, I'm going to go through an example of a lesson with you. Let's start with lesson 4. They're all pretty much set up the same way. The first lesson and the last few lessons are a little different, but most of the time, this is going to be the way that the lessons are set up. So you always start with some reading ahead of time. And what I do is I'll have my daughter read along with me in her book. Everything in white is what is found in the student workbook. As I said, these gray boxes are just in the teacher guide and for you to help amplify the lesson. So you'll read the intro to her or him. You'll read the fable. Then you'll have them tell it back, narrate it. Then you will talk about it. This is just questions to discuss the fable. This TE means in the back of the lesson, you'll find something called Talk About It. And that will have more information for you to use when discussing that with your child. The next page and the next section is Go Deeper. Here's an example. Because the fox hopes to quench his thirst with juicy grapes, the word quench probably means, and then they'll pick an option. Then, did you notice the word despise in the moral? Many people despise what is beyond their reach. The Latin root for despise is despicio. The word de means down, and spicio means I look. Sure, I butchered those. Sorry, guys. Can you guess what despise mean? Look up the word despise in a dictionary. Write the definition in the space below. And then they go on to have you write a sentence about despise. And then here's another example. Many people despise what is beyond their reach. What might be another way to write this moral? Circle the correct answer. Then you have some adjective work. Then you go on to writing time. And this is where you have copy work and dictation. Now, the dictation is only found in the teacher guide. So if you are utilizing the dictation, you would definitely need to have the teacher guide. We stopped doing this after the first 2 lessons. She was just getting a lot of writing fatigue, and this was pretty much all we could do during the day. And we do so much copy work and dictation throughout all the other subjects that I just didn't worry about that. Then it goes on to sentence play, which is just as you would expect, sentence play. And then it goes on to copiousness, which is some grammar. I like how they incorporate the fable into the grammar. I feel like it goes more seamlessly. Like for example, mark the nouns and adjective in the sentence below. Place an N over the nouns and an AGJ over the adjective. Then they're going to have you go through and they're going to have you replace words, and they'll tell you what to write here. Adjective like beautiful. Adjective like beautiful, noun, noun, time of the word, noun, noun, animal, any adjective, any noun. And then take another look at this fable. Rewrite this sentence by changing as many words as you can, especially the keywords despise and reach. The new sentence should mean nearly the same thing as the old sentence. Many people despise what is beyond their reach. And their example is, a lot of folks hate what is out of their grasp. Then you go on to the writing project. In this case, you're learning to summarize. So you're going to take the fable and you're going to make it down to 5 or 6 sentences. Then you have a rewrite. You don't always have 2 writing projects. Like in this case, rewrite the fable, The Fox and the Grapes, using a different animal and a different fruit or unattainable object. Sometimes you'll only have 1 writing, but in this case you have 2. Then you always end with speak it. This is a memorization project. A lot of this is best used in a classroom and honestly meant for a classroom. So we don't really do speak it. I do make her read all her reading projects to me, but that's it. So another example of a lesson, let's do lesson 7. Okay, lesson 7 is about amplification. Now, there is a few lessons on amplification, which is making something longer, adding more detail. There's also a few more on summary. There's some on doing an outline, on making your own fable, on dealing with the main idea. So there's different subjects in the lessons, but amplification is one that you'll see throughout. So again, you'll read the intro and then you'll read the fable, and then you'll have your child narrate it. And then you'll do the talk about it section where you discuss it. This is just orally, by the way. And again, see this TE in gray means that you can go reference the end of the lesson for more notes. Then you go on to go deeper. And then you will go into copywork and dictation again, sentence play, copiousness. In this case, you have amplification where you're going to amplify this fable and add more details to it. And then you're going to write a true fable about a time in your own life when you were greedy. And that's your second writing project. And then you would go on to speak it. So let me give you an example on go deeper. What do you think people should learn from the fable, The Dog and Her Reflection? Write your own moral lesson. Circle the moral that works best for this fable. Do you think the dog will change her ways after falling in the water, or do you think she will remain the same? Give a reason for your answer. And then they go over some adjectives and some vocab. In sentence play, the word as tells us that one thing is happening at the same time as another thing. What 2 things are happening in this sentence? And then here is a sentence from our fable using as. Using this sentence as a model, write other sentences to show 2 things the dog is doing at once. I really like the activities. In copiousness, take the sentence and change the underlined words without changing the meaning of the sentence. A dog swiped a bone from the butcher's shop. Here's an example. A mutt stole a bone from the butcher's market. This time, take the same sentence and change as many words as you can while completely changing the meaning of the sentence. A dog swiped a bone from the butcher's shop. Example, a T-Rex chews a tire from the farmer's market. Arrange and rearrange and rewrite the sentence using a different subject. Keep the original meaning. Do you remember what a subject is? I mean, this is just so full of good stuff, guys. I love it so much. So I asked my daughter if she would be okay if I showed you guys a couple of her writing assignments she did to kind of show you where she started and where she ended up. And she was totally fine with that. So in lesson 2, here was a writing project she had with amplification where she had to make this fable longer. So she wrote this portion and right up here. And then this is my handwriting. I had to dictate it. And don't mind this, we actually rewrote it a little bit. But she ran out of steam, so I had to continue writing. And now, guys, you will not be able to believe she can write so much more than that. So here's writing your own moral. She wrote this, I kid you not, in maybe 5 minutes, just like it was nothing. And then on this last lesson, the second part on writing her own moral, All right, here was her work. She wrote this page and she continued on and almost filled up all of the lines. And she did that again, less than 10 minutes. I mean, so quick. She did a good job. She did the lesson well. She included all the stuff that they wanted, and she did it almost without thinking about it. I'm telling you guys, this program is so good, and it goes slow and steady, but it works. We have level 2, which we'll be starting. Currently, it is winter break over Christmas. So as soon as we start our second semester, that is what we will be doing. So I am a secular homeschooler, and this is not a secular curriculum. However, I found this curriculum on several secular homeschoolers' YouTube channels, and they said that this was just fine for them. There was only a few references. They're easy to skip over if you want. I don't mind religious curriculum coming into my homeschool. I use it as a learning lesson. We have lots of family who's religious, so it's a topic that's often discussed in our home and definitely one we don't shy away from. So I did hear that level 2 has a little more, and I'll let you know how that goes, but I will tell you that would not deter me. So whether you're secular, non-secular, whatever your beliefs are, this curriculum is awesome. It is so versatile. It's so fresh. It's fun. I love this. I would recommend this to anybody. As far as cost goes, I believe it's about $22 for each book. So for the student workbook and the teacher guide. So maybe $45 close before tax. So if you're doing one a semester, it could add up to about $100 a year. I could see how that would seem pricier. However, level 2, I was able to buy for, I think it was like $27 for both the teacher guide and the workbook, and they were in great condition. Now, I don't always like buying the workbooks used because I've had some bad experiences with getting them written in, but in this case, it worked out great. And for example, I'm using the teacher guide with my son, so I paid $22 for this, but I'm gonna have 2 kids out of it, and I will just need to buy the student workbook after. So, all right, I hope this video was informative or helpful. I would love to answer any questions you guys have about this curriculum, and I encourage you guys to check it out, see if it's something that would work for you in the homeschool. Again, don't worry about the grades. I've seen YouTubers that have put their kids on this in 6th grade, 7th grade, and kind of sped through some of the levels and just really enjoyed this. So, all right, thanks so much for watching my video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.